Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Movie and Points Flashback Reviews, where we take movies from our past, break them down, and tell you what we think about them. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Email nlapolo113@gmail.com if you have any questions. So we're going to continue our Marvel Cinematic Universe quest leading up to Avengers Endgame. This time we jump a couple years from 2008 to 2010 with Iron Man 2. Basically, the storyline is Robert Downey Jr. is back as Tony Stark. It takes place about a year after the events of Iron Man 1. Tony Stark is having issues with his chest for the palladium. It's causing an infection through his heart. His, veins are popping out here in his sides and his chest and so on and so forth. Basically, the stuff that was supposed to save him is killing him. So he's trying to find a solution, which is causing him to become lower and lower and lower in his self-esteem and his ego and just the way he operates. And so he basically transfers Pepper Potts to the CEO of the company so he can, figure out as being Iron Man and so on and so forth. And, we also get Don Cheadle, who takes over for Terrence Howard because of all the mess that happened with that. And he comes back as Rhodey. And he is now working for, he works for the government. So he's trying to get Iron Man under control. But because he's friends with Tony Stark, it becomes a big mess, but they want the Iron Man armor, and the government will do anything to get it. Well, the way things go, there's always a past to every character, and this past involves Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, who worked for this guy named Banco, or worked with this guy named Banco, and they created the arc reactor, basically, the thing that is powering Tony's chest, that has created, what is going on, the safety of the world. And something happens where Vanko feels like he gets screwed over, so he goes a vendetta against Stark, and his son, played by Mickey Rourke, who plays Ivan Vanko, is mad. He's furious, and he probably should be because he thinks he's being screwed over by the Starks. So Ivan Vanko creates his own arc reactor. He travels to Monaco, where Tony Stark is, and basically takes on Iron Man in the middle of the Grand Prix in Monaco, and he destroys, Tony Stark's car, and they fight, and we get our villain as sorts in the movie, which is Whiplash, basically. But then we have Justin Hammer, who's basically a wannabe Tony Stark, who's played by the Academy Award-winning Sam Rockwell, and he's just a snarky, snide, pretentious jerk ass, and he's finding ways to go around Tony Stark, but he never succeeds. And he's just a mess of a character and just a mess of a person. I mean, that's the way his character was apparently in the comics. But this story in general, because we also get, like I said, Gwyneth Paltrow comes back. We also get Jon Favreau back as director. Is a complete mess. I just literally just watched this movie and I couldn't stand watching it. And it's just sad because I think the main problem was Jon Favreau came back as director when he wanted more time to just create a better story. But because Marvel had this grand plan, that wasn't going to happen, and so on and so forth. And so we're getting this convoluted story where Tony Stark is set up at like a World's Expo fair, kind of like the New York Expo back in the 60s. And it's a year-long event, and then he travels to Monaco, then he has to deal with Whiplash, and he has to deal with the thing in his chest to figure out how he's not going to kill himself. He's having to deal with the problem with Pepper Potts, and he's having to deal with this, and he's having to deal with that, and it's just all over the freaking place, and this movie just makes me so mad, and I don't even think it's Jon Favreau's fault. I think it's the fact that Kevin Feige and the crew didn't know what they were doing, or they knew what they were doing, but they didn't know how to do it well. And they had this success with Iron Man, and then they had okay success with Incredible Hulk. But Iron Man 2 was anticipated. It was everybody wanted to watch it because Robert Downey Jr. was an amazing Tony Stark Iron Man. So it's just like, and then you get the whole party scene where Tony's at his lowest, which kind of plays into the movie, how low the movie gets. And, he has a fight with Rhodey in an Iron Man suit. And he takes the other suit, which is a Mark II. That's who Rhodey takes. And they steal the Iron Man and turn it into basically the War Machine. And then you have, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Nick Fury. And this is the first time we ever see Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow character. And they're introduced in the mix. And then we have Phil Coulson, who's an amazing run-through character in most of these movies. But it's just like, it's so much going on. So much is happening. So much is just doesn't make any sense. Mickey Rourke, he looks like he's bored in this movie. He doesn't looks like he ever even understands what's going on. He just looks like he's in his own little world of a movie, and it just kind of sucks. And it's one of the worst villains in the MCU, to be honest. Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell's character is fine. You know, there's not much to him. It's just he's just a guy that saves, you know, Ivan Vanko's character, who ends up creating his own Iron Man suit. So he basically, Ivan Vanko is kind of like Obadiah Stane, just a worser villain. And like I said, I've heard rumors that Jon Favreau, like I said, he wanted another year to do this movie and they wouldn't let him. He's like, whatever, I'm going to do whatever you guys ask, but I'm not going to create a good movie. And you can just tell that the heart is not here. And if you see a movie like, if you've seen Chef, it's almost the amalgamation of what happened with Iron Man 2, where Jon Favreau plays a chef who works for this major restaurant. He gets fucked over by his boss, excuse my language, and he opens up his own taco stand or stand making Cuban sandwiches. And he travels across the country and he becomes popular again and so on and so forth. And that's what happens in this movie, where he is basically effed over by the studio and he goes to make Chef, and that's what happens. And I don't know. I like Don Cheadle as Rhodey. I think he's a much better character actor than Terrence Howard was, but I do like Terrence Howard. Robert Downey Jr., of course, he's going to be amazing in this because he's always had that, you know, well-to-do. He's very charismatic. He's a great character actor. He does a good Iron Man here. Of course, Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow does fine, but just everything's all over the place. Nothing really stands out. You know, some of the Iron Man suits are cool, but it just doesn't work for me. And it's sad because with how successful and how decent Iron Man was, Iron Man 2 was just such a bottom of the barrel superhero movie. And it doesn't really start to lift off the ground till like near the end of the movie. And then the movies that come after this, outside of like Thor the Dark World, finally kind of lift up the franchise of the Marvel Cinematic Universe up the ring of the ladder to where it is now. So there is a silver lining, as you could say, for these types of movies. But for right now, as we continue the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this movie just isn't good. It just isn't fun. It's actually kind of mean spirited in a lot of times. You know, it just, you know, what it is. But there you go. That's going to be my take on Iron Man 2. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Email nlapolo1138@gmail.com if you have any questions. So if you disagree with me on Iron Man 2, that's fine. If you really like this movie, that's fine. Tell me in the comments below. But let me know what you think about the MCU or what you think about Iron Man 2. I'd be interested to know. So, but with that, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.